I set out to simplify my setup, and this speaker surprised me right away. The sound feels rich and warm, with enough depth that even low-volume listening still has weight. I can place one unit on a shelf and still fill the room without a maze of gear, cables, or complicated controls.
What impressed me most is the balance. Vocals stay clear, cymbals stay crisp, and the bass lands with confidence without muddying everything else. I keep catching details in songs I know by heart, like tiny background textures that used to disappear in my older living room setup.
I wanted something compact that still felt serious, and this checks that box for me. It gives me broad room coverage from a single enclosure, so I can move around and still hear a full image. For my space, that blend of footprint and performance feels genuinely hard to beat.
Setup is refreshingly quick on my side. I powered it on, connected, and was listening within minutes. Day to day, I bounce between streaming, local playback, and TV audio, and the handoff stays smooth. It lets me focus on music instead of fiddling with settings every time I sit down.
I care a lot about how voices sound, and this is where it really wins me over. Spoken content comes through natural and present, almost as if the person is in the room. Then when I switch to energetic tracks, the system still has punch and scale, so I never feel like I'm compromising.
I also love how flexible it is in a mixed home environment. I can play from multiple devices, keep things wireless, and still connect older sources when needed. That combination gives me confidence I can grow the setup over time without replacing everything the moment my habits change.
When I push the volume, it stays composed. I get strong low end and clean highs without that harsh edge that makes long listening tiring. I can run background playlists while working, then turn it up at night and still keep that same sense of detail and separation I usually expect from bigger systems.
For acoustic tracks, the timbre feels natural and textured. Guitars have body, piano notes decay smoothly, and vocals stay centered without getting swallowed by bass. Then with electronic music, it digs deep and energetic. I like that it adapts across genres without forcing me to retune anything each time.
What I appreciate daily is consistency. Morning podcasts, afternoon focus playlists, and late-night albums all translate beautifully. The controls are straightforward and the response feels immediate, so the experience fades into the background and the music takes center stage exactly how I want it.
I also value that I can blend modern streaming with older gear I still enjoy. Having both wireless convenience and a wired path gives me flexibility for different moods. It feels like a system I can live with for years because it doesn't force me into one narrow way of listening.
I can tell the design was tuned for real rooms, not just lab demos. Even off-axis, the sound remains coherent, which matters when I'm moving around. It gives me confidence that one good placement can serve the whole area, instead of needing a complicated layout to get satisfying coverage.
I notice small production choices now, like subtle reverb tails and layered harmonies that used to blur together. That extra clarity makes familiar tracks feel fresh. At the same time, the low end still carries real impact, so I get detail and physical presence together instead of choosing one.
I set out to simplify my setup, and this speaker surprised me right away. The sound feels rich and warm, with enough depth that even low-volume listening still has weight. I can place one unit on a shelf and still fill the room without a maze of gear, cables, or complicated controls.
What impressed me most is the balance. Vocals stay clear, cymbals